Hey all, welcome to week 21 of our garden here in eastern Oklahoma. And well, it's not a whole lot's changed from last week actually. The loofah is still growing and we still only have one. From the looks of it, it's starting to dry, which I think is normal. The blackberries have slowed down, but I do see a few more groups of blackberries starting to show up on some of the canes, so that's good. Most of the elderberries are ready to finish harvesting, so I'm going to take care of some of that today. And then the garden. Well, let me go show you the garden. Starting with the squash and the cucumbers, I would say that the cucumbers are sort of starting to look a little bit better. I actually have some cucumbers that actually, well, look like cucumbers, as opposed to this roundish thing that didn't do well on the end. I've got a couple like this, so I'm pretty happy. I got these two. Oop, there's one further down there. There it is. And then there's one growing on the outside of the fence. So it's really starting, maybe we'll start really getting cucumbers. I sure hope so. The squash, I still see lots of blooms. I see lots of buds. And I have no female flowers. Oop, oop. I say that. Do you see that? Do you see that? That is a female bud. That flower has not yet opened. So hopefully we'll start getting some squash again. We've had a few, but not very many. For our pinto beans, you know, I have plants here. I've got blooms. I don't have a lot of fruit. I've got a few. They're small. But on this plant, I'm really not seeing a whole lot. I guess there's a few here. And that's about it. On the other pinto plant, there's some here as well that's ready to be picked. I do like to get them inside, and I put them on the drying rack just to make sure they actually stay dry, because it's so humid here, sometimes they don't dry well. Again, lots of buds and whatnot, green bean there at the top, a couple of them, so it's just a smaller harvest. Our green beans, I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure I didn't get it watered good, and it started to die out. So I did water it a couple times. Do still see some blooms. And I see some more beans. So it's time to come back out here and harvest another batch of beans. Now this actually looks really good. I see reds and purplishes from the jalapenos, and then I see the oranges from the orange sickles. In fact, one's fallen off of the vine that I need to pick up. And these peppers, these are the ones that I started over again from seed after the main plant there broke off. And I see, you see that? I see some buds. And that's grown a lot this last week. What's probably done the best in our garden has been this basil. We've got two of these basil plants, and we're constantly coming out here. We had a basil pasta last night. My wife took a big chunk of this and threw it through the blender, and it's been delicious. I'm drying tons of it, and it's really good. Of all the things in our garden, this has done the best. Now this Cherokee Purple plant, though, is also doing really well. Still lots of fruit on it. I'm waiting for some more to turn red. It's been hot enough. I'd be surprised if there's any blooms, but there are a couple. So I'm real happy about that. Of course, that middle plant died out, and this one, there's only one good vine left on this one, and that's this one here. But it's growing still, and it does have blooms. And it is an indeterminate tomato, so as long as I've got a vine and I've got blooms, I'm just going to let it grow. The volunteer Cherokee Purple just looks sad and pathetic. And if I had something else to go there, I would go ahead and take it out. In the meantime, I'm just going to let it go. Of course, we're only down to one San Marzano tomato plant, and we still have blooms, which shocked me. I thought that they were sort of a one and done type of thing, but there's still some there. If I could find some more tomato plants, I would probably plant them because we still have time to get fruit. I just don't know if we have time from seed. Now the black cherry tomato is just really doing good. I harvested several yesterday, and there's more on here that will be ready shortly. The banana peppers overall are doing well. Actually, this the black cherry tomato is actually shading it, so that's not good. I'll not do that next year. Though it's in a pot, I could probably just move it, but I'm not sure where I'd put it. So, but this is still doing really well, and harvested a few more of those red banana peppers. So much like last week, it's really time to get these elderberries down. Almost all of them now are purple. I think everything on this bush is purple, ready to harvest. The one over there, I think I found a few green still. So I'm just going to come through here and clip these off and get these inside. And like last time, I will probably use that cookie sheet hack again to get these off of these stems. And these are well past, I mean, they're still ripe and everything, but I'm touching them and berries are falling off. So I probably should have done this a few days ago. Well, we got more today than we got last week. So let me get these to the porch and we can get these cleaned up. So one thing I'm going to do this year that I've never done before is put up some shade cloth. Last week we had 5 days in a row in the hundreds. I think we had a total of 6 days in the hundreds. Next week is looking the same. This weekend has been great in the upper 80s, low 90s, but back to the hundreds. Probably for most of August, 90s and 100s. So I'm going to put up some sheet cloth over the tomatoes to see if that can help them make it through the season, put off a few more tomatoes, and just give us a better harvest. I've never tried it before. I was just thinking about it the other day, and then a video I watched last week from Texas Prepper 2, he was putting up some shade cloth over his tomatoes. I'm like, you know what? I'm definitely going to give it a try. Never tried this before, so while I've got a little bit of shade, I'm actually going to go ahead and try to get this set up. I bought a bigger piece than I intended. I thought I was buying one size and I got something different. So I need to cut it down to size, which in a way might be better. I can make a whole bunch of these if needed. But I'm going to make a decent size shade and put it over some of the tomatoes. I thought I brought out our good scissors, but either I didn't, or good scissors aren't good anymore, or it's just really tough cutting this material. I'm not sure which. Or there's a chance there's a little bit of all of them. All right, so I put 2 sheets up, and we're going to see how this does. I can definitely tell a difference myself underneath this shade cloth. Surely the plants will, and hopefully that will just help a little bit. I've put it over the black cherry, and I've put it over the 1.5 Cherokee Purples that I have. The one back here is shading the San Marzano a little bit, but not a whole lot. So we're going to see how it works. First time I've ever tried this, and I know a lot of gardeners in the heat use shade cloth, and we'll see how it goes. I did zip tie it to that bird netting, so hopefully that won't be a mistake, but we'll see. Let's go take care of those elderberries and call it a day. All right, so if you didn't watch last week, my elderberry hack is I'll take the elderberries after I've harvested them. I've got a cooling rack over a cookie sheet. I've put foil on the cookie sheet just to make things easier. And then I just rub it back and forth across the top of it. And there you go. And it's not too terribly bad. So far, it's the easiest method I've seen to do this. I've used combs, I've used just hand picked them, and I've not found anything really quite as easy. I still have to do a couple. I have found though, if I just lay them there and put my finger on top of them, it makes it a little bit easier. And I break fewer. Now I had plenty of these break, or not break, but fall off as I was pulling them off. So I lost quite a bit. Well, I lost some. And that's all there is to it. Now I just have to go through this. Well, that's the elderberries that I harvested today. That's quite a bit more than last time. And if I didn't mention before, be sure you do this outside. I'm not even sure the wooden deck is the best place to do it. You can sort of see I've stained our deck purple. Don't tell my wife, except for she watches this video. Anyway, watch out for that. Well, that's week 21 here in Eastern Oklahoma. And things aren't horrible, actually. So elderberries are pretty much done now. I've got a few more that I can harvest. Those I need to wash and dry and freeze, and then I can do something with them later. Hopefully the shade cloth will help out the tomatoes, and peppers are really starting to come on, thankfully. And hopefully the green beans will recover from lack of water or whatever the problem was, and we'll get some more green beans. Anyway, y'all, thanks for watching. I'm Terry from TNT Homesteading. Check out last week's video if you missed week 20. And here's our 2026 garden playlist. Thanks for watching. God bless. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.